You know, all through the Old Testament, the Bible talked about the promised Messiah. You can read a lot of different instances. I've quoted to you how many and all the other things about that time of where he was going to come into his own. And sadly, indeed, his own received him not. But that coming to his own is quite the event. You think about all that led up to that event, all that was coming into play. The promised Messiah was now here. He came to an age now where he was going to make that public, and what you start seeing assembled in the scripture is the story of what we sometimes refer to as that triumphant entry of the Lord. The Messiah had come, and here he's coming. You can imagine all the plans that went into that. In fact, we read where Mark talks about how the people are gathered together there, and they're shouting, "Hosanna, blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord." Luke notes how they're talking already about all the wondrous works that Jesus had done, and there was a buzz in the crowd. Look, others had branches from the trees. In fact, if you just keep reading in Matthew today, they had branches from the trees that were strewn down as a symbol of honor for the king that was going to ride in. Now we know that many, no doubt, had expected their king to come in on a stallion, a sword and a shield in hand, but the Lord, fulfilling scripture and showing his humility at his first coming, he comes in riding on a donkey, an ass's colt. Now, make no doubt about it, this was his time. I mean, this was the moment. And I ponder all the assembling of the people and all that went on before they came to this moment. That was the moment that hundreds of years had prophesied about. They're gathered up. Matthew chapter 21, which today's Bible reading in the 1 minute is Matthew 21 through 23. onebaptist.org. Go get the Devo, will you, and learn. But in Matthew chapter 21, it talks about how they're coming together here, and the Lord, he tells some of his disciples, he says, "Here's what I need you to do. I need you to go over, two of his disciples, I need you to go over into that village that's against you, and when you get over there, you're going to find a donkey," I'm paraphrasing, "you're going to find a donkey over there and a colt with her, and I want you to do it. I want you to loose that donkey, and I want you to bring that donkey to me. And if you're asked," verse 3 says, "if you're asked why you're doing it, just say, 'The Lord have need of them.'" The Lord have need of them. Now, I'm quite sure when the parade happened and all the people are gathered together, all the songs of praise that are going out, all the shouting of Hosanna and the recognition of the king, I'm sure who wasn't getting recognized was them two old boys that had went to go get that donkey. But those boys did it because the Lord had need of it. And the Lord was able to do with those donkeys beyond what perhaps they even knew the task was at hand for. In doing such, they were fulfilling the scriptures. Zechariah chapter 9 and verse 9. They were fulfilling the scripture so that any Pharisee in the crowd would know this had to be the Messiah. And everybody who saw the Messiah saw him on that donkey that those two disciples went and got. I thought about today and the way people serve the Lord. A lot of times if they can't get recognition, they just don't want to do it. And oh, what these two would have been sacrificing had they just not did what the Lord had told them to do. Hey y'all, whatever capacity it is, let's just serve the Lord. Let's let the recognition be his. And whatever the Lord hath need of, let's be thankful that we can be used to provide, even if it sounds like nothing, like going and getting a donkey. But I remind you, by going and getting that donkey, everybody got to see the God of it.